thought. I don't have much feeling about it right now.
Okay. Okay. So next thing that I wanted to discuss was about male-female energy, male-female attraction, whatever name you want to call it, love.
So can we describe it as a polarity?
Sure. I mean, so males are, or I am, attracted towards females. Females are also attracted towards males. Yet in many situations, at mental level, at conversation level, or even at practical level, sometimes it becomes difficult or problematic to live together or to really communicate or understand each other. So conflict also occurs quite a bit. So what are your thoughts on
Well, I have been living without a female companion for about 10 years now, so I don't have a lot of fresh experience. A lot of ways. So earlier on, we were talking about how there's a kind of communication where you don't really care about what's said. What's the point? And my impression from because a lot of times I think I communicate more comfortably or easily with females or women, in many cases, is because they don't have that need for a point. They're more conscious of just the ambiance and just how it's all flowing. There's just some. It's not. I'm not going to generalize about all, of course, but that is the difference that I see. But as far as attraction towards each other goes, that's something I haven't really fathomed. I don't think I've had experiences with it for sure, but because a female can connect with me. I've had experiences fairly recently where you feel almost like you're merged at the soul level. And something I don't usually feel with men, of course, and but I don't really know what to make of that.
So personally for me, like I feel very strong attraction.
Strong what?
Very strong attraction towards females.
Uh-huh.
Very strong. I don't know if it is common for all men or if different men.
Well, it depends on what you mean by very, of course. Like I feel like I've been more than most men. But maybe how would I know if you're more than me?
Right. So I don't know where to tell that for sure. But anyway, so I do feel that it is quite possible that it will change with age. I mean, it's probably likely that it will change with age. And that I can understand. So sometimes when I hear a guru or somebody, a spiritual, whatever you want to call it, that he feels no attraction towards females, or he doesn't even see females as females, he sees them just as people, person, or any other creature.
Or energy beings. Maybe.
Yeah, and they know attraction, no desire, nothing that arises inside him. That kind of creates a
flag.
Yeah, flag for me. So if it is true, then he is very different than how I am, or how the people I know are. And if that's the case, does he even understand men? Does he even understand what it is to be a human? What it is to be a man? What it is to have feelings? And if he doesn't understand it,
how can he teach anyone else?
Yeah, how can he even relate to it, or how can he even tell anybody how to deal with it? That's one thing. And worse, if he had this feeling but he lying about it, that is that doesn't mean that he cannot be trusted.
Now, think when you're talking about that, I'm thinking about Kundalini. You know, the base of the spine, energy rising, you know, come to the crown. You know, and that, in my impression, you know, like that, when it rises is the female. Is that consistent with how you look at it?
I mean, that's how it is described.
And it's like a rich, almost liquid energy. It's almost can look black, and yet it's not a color. You know, it's when we were talking about earlier about you don't feel like talking. It's like you're filled with that, your mouth stuff. And then this thing up here, when you talk about the gurus, I don't have these feelings of sexual attraction. You know, maybe he's like here someplace. I don't know. But I noticed that myself, just a shift in that energy completely can change from maybe to being like that guru for a while, you know. So, but it's that force, that life. To say you don't, if he's saying he doesn't feel that life force, that's the big question. You know?
Yeah, I mean, so, for example, say like if Guru was 80-year-old and he doesn't feel like sexual attraction which a 25-year-old or 18-year-old might feel, that I can understand. That's just a factor of age.
Biology.
That's just a factor of how the human body works. That I can understand. But say like a Guru was not in that age, and if you say that he never feels that way.
Although probably Ramana Maharshi might be an exception.
No, so part of Ramana Maharshi, lot of Ramana Maharshi's teaching is after he is 70-year-old.
Was it?
Yeah, I mean he became very famous after he was discovered mostly by Westerners. I mean, before that he was somebody who was liked by locals,
right? A local legend,
respected by locals. But once some foreigners discovered him and
David
became
Godwin.
very impressed. But that was towards his latter age. So that is, he might have changed quite a bit just biologically.
But I mean, my impression of him, and I'm sure there are others, where they're just so soaked into this altered God state that it's almost like the world is doesn't apply. You know?
Yeah. So one thing, even to that. So sometimes I question. So, say for whatever reason, say like I am now like so enlightened that I never ever suffered. I'm giving you a hypothetical case. So if that was to occur, would I be able to teach people how to deal with suffering?
You graduate out of eligibility as a teacher.
Right. Or if I say like I really went into a state where I have no longer any thought, how will I teach anybody how to deal with thought? So in a sense, like if I want to learn, I would like to learn from somebody who has the issue, has the problem that is common, that is true for me, that is true for other people, and then maybe he or she can relate to it, teach me or teach others how he or she deals with it, how he or she overcomes it or goes beyond it, and that I think will be real practical, valuable thing. And now somebody tells me that, oh, I live without food, I live without water. Even if it was true, I will say that you are kind of useless for me. I mean, if I was a scientist, if I wanted
postgraduate schools, and I'm an undergraduate.
Yeah. So if like say many people are attracted towards like so-called avatara or so-called miracle, and almost every famous guru, he became famous because he had some miracles. Like say Jesus supposedly can turn water into wine. Buddha supposedly like fed 5,000 bhikshus with like 5 grains of rice or something like that. So things that make them attractive to other people are the things that make them useless for me. Buddha said that I can do what other humans cannot do. I say that okay, then you are not a human, and then there's no way I can learn too much from you on practical basis, because you are not even same creature, you are not even same person. You don't have the needs, the feeling, the situation that most humans, including myself, have. On the other hand, somebody tells me that Buddha is just human, and Buddha never did those miracles. Actually, he was just a human being who learned to deal with his suffering, and he found a way to deal with it, and that's what he taught. He becomes very, very valuable to me.
Because he's addressing the core.
Yeah, and he's at the same level. He's at the same level where basically other humans are, other people are, where I am. But now at the same level, he has found a way, and he's teaching others how to do that. That has value for me.
Right. That's a good point. That someone is superhuman is not a qualification.
And yeah, for most people, that's what
Is the qualification.
qualification.
Ironically.
Yeah, that's what. That's from whom they want to learn. That's whom they want to worship. Want to like, even if that person has no miracles at all, they will just believe false stories. They will believe, but that's the belief that is taking them to those gurus, and those are the very beliefs, very stories that would turn me off from them. I want to learn from somebody who is very much like me, and because of being like me, he understands how it is to be like be a human, be a male, to have these thoughts, to have these issues, to have this problem, and then possibly he can relate to it, find a way, and then teach others how to deal with it.
Now, do you want to go into the guru thing? Do you want to stop this one?
We covered some guru things already.
Because this is becoming the guru one.